Hello and good morning. It's August 11th, 2022. This is video number 22 in my series, Our Courts Are a Joke. Now, I can be reached at ourcourtsareajoke@gmail.com. I just want to caution you that this is not professional legal advice. This is just the ramblings of a man who has been completely screwed over in the family courts of Ontario for the last 16 years, and starting this video series as well as a few other avenues to start bringing some light to the fact that men in this country are treated like the criminals in family court, and us men really need to unite and make some changes in how our family law system is done here. So today I'd like to speak about lawyers and the cost of lawyers. Now, my lawyer I had for my second court case, I thought he did a very good job. Still got killed. I got killed so bad I could have showed up with no lawyer and no evidence, and not have done any worse. But you know what? I thought he did a pretty good job. In fact, if you had sat through the trial for a week, you would have thought I did quite well. And I don't know what happened between that and in the 5 weeks or so that the judge took the right to judgment. I think the judge went out of her way to screw me because she didn't like the fact that I made some comments about the judge in my first trial. So I think my lawyer probably could have prepared me a little better for questions about my first case. I also think that my ex had a lot of stolen evidence that she went as far as taking pictures of text messages on my phone. And now that is a severe violation of privacy, and we did manage to get a little bit of evidence thrown out, but I think there should have been a lot more that would have been thrown out, and that's part of my appeal. That there is some aspect of privacy, and if we had separated in September of 2016, then we should have had some privacy, right? So stealing evidence and like I say, going into my phone, she erased all the text messages between us, which was a considerable amount of evidence that she wouldn't respond to a text when I asked where's the kids, what time they're coming home, and then she complains I turn the light on in the middle of the night while I open the bedroom door and turn the light to see where my kids are, right? So but anyway, that's not where this video is supposed to be going. It's supposed to be going about the cost of lawyers. So my lawyer was $650 an hour, and that is actually fairly average, I guess, for lawyers. When you break that down, it was $100 every time he entered an email, right? Because they bill in 6-minute increments, and so I really try not to ask him too many questions or deal with much, which can become a problem too. If you need to be able to speak openly and freely and cover all the bases, right? And if you're afraid to do that because of the cost, right? So in a trial, if they, you make an offer to settle, and if your offer to settle was better than what the end result of a trial, well, then you get your full costs, right? So I paid my lawyer his costs, and I have to pay her lawyer their costs. So that's a double whammy, and then plus I lost everything too, right? So you wonder why I'm living in a van, but so. The cost of a lawyer, I spoke to several different lawyers. There was one I spoke to, they charge $25,000 a day, if you're going to court, going to trial. And now I guess if you're fighting over millions, $25,000 a day is actually probably quite reasonable. But the cost of the legal profession, it really prices out most anybody, right? And, my experience in family court is you just destroy everything you've made, right? So, my ex and I were together, 5.5 years, and then over the next 4.5, we destroyed everything we made, right? Except for her. I mean, she didn't lose a penny, which is like just absolutely incredible. I guess she lost whatever time she had to put in writing, so, her affidavits and whatnot, but, she was home with the kids anyway, right? So she didn't really lose anything. And the amount of time I've lost, of the last 16 years, at the age of 55, I should be at the top of my career, and instead, I've been studying law, and which is not where my career was supposed to be going, right? So you either do it yourself and probably screw it up, or you pay everything you have, and the chance that you're ever going to get that back is nothing, right? So the only thing that gives me hope is I just look at other places in the world and, look at times of war and people never get that back, right? People have to flee their home, flee their city, flee their country, and, everything's destroyed, and, have to come back and rebuild, and they never get that back, right? So this is my war. This is what has been forced upon me. So anyway, when you're if you're at the beginning of you can see the end of your relationship, it's best to try to settle it as quickly and easy as you can, because once you get into lawyers fighting, the bills will just be endless, right? So, and we went the route of mediation. That went nowhere. We spent a day doing that, and went absolutely nowhere. So, there was a day of paying my lawyer for that, as well as preparation. And there's really nothing you can do if the other side doesn't want to reach a deal, right? And in the case of my ex, I can see why, because at the end she got everything, which clearly wasn't right. And but there's no room for negotiation when you know that you're gonna win 100%, right? So anyway, my advice, if you're looking for a lawyer, I mean, they're all in that kind of that price range. You don't want to cheap out because you might get a bad lawyer, and you don't want to overpay. And in the case of my lawyer, I think in the end he started asking for too much. In the closing, he wanted like 65% of the value, or 80% of the value of our home. And I think that was another part that the judge didn't like, that we got greedy. But I did say at the end of my testimony that I thought it was the home was 50-50, and that's how it should have been split. But anyway, so be cautious. Go out there and talk to a few different lawyers, and some of them will give you a bit of a free consultation, and even if you have to pay for a consultation. But find a reputable firm. The best case at all would be to avoid having to hire a lawyer if you can work out an agreement on your own. I had a friend from the East Coast, was asking me why my divorce was taking so long, and I asked if he had ever been in one, and he said he had, and he drove away in his pickup truck with 2 garbage bags full of clothes, and she kept the house and everything in it. So, well, I guess if you just give up everything and just walk away, that's the easiest. Surrender is always the easiest. I just give up and you can have it all. Well, there's not much left to fight, right? So, but you know what? Men work hard, and we really get nothing in this country, right? And we get nothing for the fruits of our labor. I mean, half of it goes to the government just as you make it. And then the other half goes to the ex. What's left for you, right? So, we need to make some changes. So please send me an email, ourcourtsareajoke@gmail.com. And it's, like this video and watch my other ones. And let's join together. And that brings to conclusion video 22 in my series. And have a good day. Thank you.